Good morning, Year 5. Welcome to your Wednesday maths lesson. Miss Biggs here. Please record in your book today's date and learning objective to add fractions within 1 and write that it's activity only because today you do not have a worksheet to work from. Can you record your flashback 4? Pause the video while you have a go at those, please, and when you've finished, come back and let's check your answers. Shall we see how you did? Mark your work, please, with a blue pen to identify what you've done. If you've got any incorrect, I'd like you to go back over it until you get the correct answer. Let's move on to today's learning. Today we're going to learn to add fractions within 1. Let's get ready using some of our skills from previous lessons to help us do this today. Pause the video and have a go at numbers 1 to 3 as your warm-up activity. Let's see how you did. Did you notice that the bar models on the right-hand side are there to help you and support you to do the questions? 6 quarters, which is what's shown here, add 3 quarters, which is what's shown here. What would that be? Well, we add the numerators, and that makes 9 quarters. Now, if we visualize moving these 2 quarters and filling that space, we will see that we get 2 full ones with 1 of the quarters left. So that's 2 and 1 quarter. On this side, this equation needs to balance with the answer to this equation. Let's work out the side we do know first. 5 add 7 makes 12. And we know that 12/6 is the same as 2 whole ones. That's 6/6 add 6/6. 6 add 6 makes 12. That's 2 whole ones. Therefore, on this side, it needs to make 2 whole ones, but this time we're working in 13ths. How many 13ths would there be in 1 whole one? 13 13ths. So how many in 2 whole ones? 26 13ths. Therefore, on this side, 1 13th add something has to make 26 13ths. 1 add 25 13ths will bring it to a total of 26 13ths, which is also equal to 2 whole ones. Number 3, complete the part whole model. We see here that the whole one is 30/9. Here we've got 3 whole ones, but we don't know what the leftover fraction is. How many 9ths would be in 3 whole ones? Well, in 1 whole one, there are 9, and we've got 3 of those. 3 times 9 is 27/9. Now the total is 30/9. So what would we need to add to that? 27/9 to get to 30/9. Yes, 3/9. Well done if you got that. If you didn't, you might want to go back over this activity until you're secure. If you are ready, let's continue and learn today's learning. Here you can see I've created some fraction strips at the bottom. They are equal in length from one end to the other, but they are split up into different size equal parts. The first bar represents 2/9, 2 shaded out of 9. On the second one, it represents 1/3. That's 1 out of 3. And we're going to add these together. But the problem is the denominators are not the same. We need to make it so that they are equivalent to each other. So you're both 9ths. What would we do to 1/3 to change it into 9ths? That's right. We would split it up until we end up with 9 pieces. Now what we've actually done there is multiplied it by 3. So it's gone from 1 piece to being 3 pieces on each strip. So therefore, we multiply the top and the bottom by 3 and we get by 3/9. Now we have 2/9 and we're adding 3/9. That's easy to do when the denominator is the same. Let's move them up so we can visually see what we have. The 2/9 add the 3/9 makes 5/9. Well done if you spotted that. Let's have a look at using fraction strips to help us to calculate this one using the same skills. 1/4 add 1/12. Pause the video and think what we just did that could help you with this. Which strip is going to change? Let's see how you did. Well, we can't change 1/12 into quarters, but we could change quarters into twelfths. What would we do to 4 to make it into 12? We need to find a common denominator of 12. Let's have a look. First, we're going to get each of these quarters and divide it into 3 equal parts. So it's no longer 1 part, but it's going to be 3 parts, like that. So we've actually multiplied it by 3. 1, 2, 3 twelfths is equivalent to 1/4. So then we add the parts together. 3 twelfths add 1/12 is, move it up, and you should be able to see that that makes 4 twelfths. So that's the answer, 4 twelfths. I wonder if we could simplify that fraction. Is there a way we could make this look smaller parts? Is there a number that goes both into 4 and 12? 4 goes into both. How many 4s in 4? 1. How many 4s in 12? 3. And therefore it's equivalent to 1/3. So the answer is equivalent to 1/3. We can see that if we divide up the bar into 3 equal pieces, then you can see that 4 twelfths takes up the same amount of space as one of those thirds. Let's have a look at this one. Use these fraction strips to help you work out 1/6 add 1/2. Think about which fraction strip needs dividing up into pieces that are smaller. Pause the video and have a go. Let's see how you did. So here is that 1/6 and that 1/2. Will we split this or this? Yes, we're going to split this up. We're going to make it so they have a common denominator, and that common denominator will be 6. So each part will be divided into 3. We've therefore multiplied 2 by 3 to make it into 6 pieces. And how many of those are shaded? 3 of them. 3/6. Add the 1/6 on, and you should see visually that that is 4/6. What's 4/6 the same as? Could we make it so there's a number that goes into both parts, 4 and 6? What will they both divide by? 2. How many 2s in 4? 2. How many 2s in 6? 3. So that is equal to thirds. Can you see I've split my bar into 3 pieces now using the orange lines? And 2, this part and this part are shaded in, so that's 2 out of the 3 pieces now. We've done that by dividing both parts by 2. I'd like you to have a go at these ones now, using the fraction strips you see on the screen to help you to add together these pairs of fractions. You can do it into your book. You may want to do it using maths to multiply and divide on the denominators to make them so they are the same, equivalent. What would we want these to both be? 8ths. This needs to change to 8ths. On these, 6ths. This will need to change to 6ths. On this, 15ths. This will need to change to 15ths. And on this, 12ths. This will need to change to 12ths. Pause the video and have a go at those. When you've got your answers, come back to me. Shall we see how you did? So we've got this half and we're making it into 8ths. 2 times what is 8? 4. So we're splitting these halves into 4 pieces each. And here, we multiply that by 4, so we multiply that by 4. So we end up with 4/8 shaded. Add this 1/8 that we already had, that's 5/8. What about here? We're changing this into sixths. So 3 multiplied by what is 6? 2. And then the top times by 2, 4. So you should be able to see on this one that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shaded in. On this one, the 2/5 needs to change to 15. So what do you multiply 5 by to get to 15? 5 times 3 is 15. So we multiply the numerator. 2 times 3 is 6. Let's check what that looks like on the one below. Can you see how it's made it into 6/15? So then we're going to add them together. 6/15, add the 4 already there, makes 10/15. We could also simplify that down because 5 goes into both parts. 5 goes into 10 twice. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 2/3. This last one, 1/2, we need to change to 12ths. 2 times what is 12? 6. 1 times 6 is 6. So that's 6/12. Let's see if that's what it works out to look like. Yes, we can see we've got 6/12, add the 5/12 we already had, makes 11/12. Well done. That's the end of our learning today. We'll be using this tomorrow's learning.